Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to the first vlog of WHATEVERATHON. WHATEVERATHON is a month-long readathon hosted by Maddie from Book Browsing Vlog along with a plethora of other co-hosts. I'll link information down below. I'm on the team TBR Travelers. It's June 1st at 10:51 a.m. I did not start the vlog this morning because I've kind of forgotten how to vlog. I've taken most of the month off from it. Ernie, stop it. Come here. But I haven't done all that much reading so far. I took a walk with my mom and I got 76 pages into Zap, The Lightning of Empowerment, which I'm hoping to finish up today. I'm also reading another book that I started last month that I'm hoping to quickly finish up today. I'll tell you what prompts that will fulfill, but not much else about this. But this is my first main read for this because I started it just last night before I went to bed. So I'm going to continue reading and I'll catch up with you when I do something interesting. It's almost noon, right, Ernie? And I just finished listening to the audiobook for Branded by the Pink Triangle by Ken Setterington. And I used it for the following prompts: under 300 pages. It was only like 155. Different format because I listened to it on audiobook. And then G, P, and S on the cover, counting one of my most difficult prompts first, which is great. Plus, it's an LGBTQ plus book, so that earns me extra points. So I got 225 points for that read, which is a fantastic start. This is a really short but really well done book. It's nonfiction about the experience that gay men had during the Holocaust in particular. There's some mentions of lesbian women, but it was made pretty clear that they were not actually a group that was routinely persecuted by the Nazis, whereas gay men absolutely were. This was a part of the Nazi regime that I knew nothing about because it's been buried a lot in history. It's a group that hasn't gotten nearly as much support after World War II about what happened to them in the concentration camps because they were largely viewed as criminals at the time under the act that they were put in concentration camps with. So they didn't get reparations like most of the other victims were eligible for. It was obviously really sad, but I'm glad that I'm more educated about that now, and it's a good piece of reflection to have for the beginning of Pride Month. I'm very grateful that things have changed since then. It was definitely very interesting to hear about, and I gave this 4 stars. I think it might have been higher if I had been able to read a physical copy of this because it had a lot of pictures in it, and the audiobook would describe the pictures, and I was like, I don't like that you're describing these pictures. I either don't want to hear about them or I want to see them, you know? So that was a little weird, but overall, a good first read. I'm sorry if you can hear the carpet cleaner upstairs, but I don't want to put off filming this clip. So it's like 2:16 p.m. and I just finished my second book, Zap, The Lightning of Empowerment, How to Improve Quality, Productivity, and Employee Satisfaction. And I'm giving this 3.5 stars. It's told in like a parable slash fable type way with lessons about management and being a leader and stuff. It wasn't like revolutionary to some of the things I know, but it's always good to have a refresher, and there are definitely some great ideas in this that I think are really important and that more people should use. And I use this for the prompts under 300 pages because it's 202 pages, the and blah blah blah, because a lot of those words are in there. And then yellow on the cover because my random number generator landed me on the color yellow, and there's yellow on this. This is what my bingo board is looking like right now, which for a first day, it's real good. I don't know if I'm going to start another book or get back to reading The Billionaire Needs a Wife, but either way, I'm probably going to read for a bit more. Instead of reading, I actually went to the thrift store and I got 2 books, but it's really 6 books because they're both trilogies that are bind up. So I got the Cornish trilogy, which I've never heard of, but just looked interesting. I don't know, 3 books in one, sure. And then the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because my library does have these books, but I don't want to feel rushed when I read them because I know they're going to take a while. So I figured having them would be good. And then I got some dress pants and like a sports coat jacket for dress up stuff. So that's good because I'll need that in grad school. Now, I think I might switch between reading and making edits because I'm feeling like I need to make something. So maybe we'll try and do that. It's like 9 p.m. I just got off of TikTok Live. I was there for like 3 hours having a Heartstopper Pride party. I'm kind of hoping to finish The Billionaire Needs a Wife before I fall asleep tonight. I have like half an hour left of it. Not sure if I'm going to accomplish that goal, but I sure am going to try. So I'm going to get changed into my pajamas and trying to do that. And I'll see you in the morning. Ernie, are you helping me edit? I forgot to mention, now that it's almost Thursday afternoon, that yesterday on Wednesday night. Right before I went to bed, I did end up finishing The Billionaire Needs a Wife, and I'm using it for the prompts. Different format because I read it on ebook, and I'm trying to read physical books mainly right now. 2021 release because it was released January 31st, 2021. Then less read genre because it's an adult romance, and I feel like I read that less than some other things. And I also checked off guilt-free activity for being on live last night and not beating myself up for not reading during that time. So all around good. No bingos yet, but still making hefty progress. And I'm like a third of the way into my next read. I should probably post a poll to figure out my next read, otherwise I'm gonna have trouble filling out this poll prompt. So I should do that. I think that's all I have to say. It's Friday morning and I just finished Just Wreck It All by N. Griffin, which I'm using for the prompts. Recently hauled because I got it just last week. Blank color on the cover because it has yellow on the cover, which is what I randomly generated last time. And until I fill up this whole board, I'm just going to keep that as the color. And then favorite genre because it's a YA contemporary. So there we have it. Still no bingos yet, but we sure are getting there. Listen, I got some books at a used bookstore, but I didn't pay for them. Well, I did pay for them in books though, because at this used bookstore, you can exchange books and get store credit and then use that to buy books from the store. So that's what I did. And I didn't even use all the credit that I got today from bringing books in. So really this is a win, I think. So I'm gonna show you the 7 books I got. I know what you're thinking. You have enough unread books. And let me tell you, you're wrong. There's no better feeling than getting a new book. I'm especially feeling like a little shy about it because one of my friends sent me a meme like late last night that was like, this is a hard truth that you need to hear. You have enough books sitting beside you right now. You don't need to buy others. You need to read the ones you have. I felt attacked. So anyway, we're going to ignore that completely and I'm going to share with you the 7 books I just got. The first 2 I've been wanting to pick up from the used bookstore for a while. I could just download them from like Project Gutenberg or something, but I also didn't pay for these with money. It's fine. And also I like to read my chunkier classics physically. Otherwise War and Peace happens. I got 2 Ayn Rand books because I first read Ayn Rand when I read Anthem, which is a novella, and I read that for my women sci-fi Project Gutenberg one. I gave that 4 stars. The rest of them I pretty much didn't really enjoy, but Ayn Rand's writing style I really loved. So I've been wanting to pick up Atlas Shrugged for a really long time because it's a very famous, apparently really good book. And then I've also wanted to read The Fountainhead, so I just got both. They're very thick with very tiny words on the page, but that's okay. Literally over 1,000 pages of really tiny words. But whatever, I got both of them. And I'm super excited about that. Then I got Symptoms of Being Human, which I was literally looking at on my library app last night because the main character is gender fluid and I haven't really read that representation in books, so especially since it's Pride Month, this moved to the top of my TBR, so I'm hoping to get to this really soon. Like, that's all I know about it, is that there's a gender fluid main character, and I don't need to know anything else, to be honest with you. I'm sold. Next, I picked up Magic from Septimus Heap series, the Septimus Heap series, book 1. This was sitting in the adult section, but it definitely doesn't look like an adult book, and I'm fine with that. This was especially cheap because this is the $5 edition, and it's like half price of the book. Pretty thick, it's like over 500 pages. And this is about a guy who disappears the night he was born and is pronounced dead by the midwife, and then that same night, there's an abandoned child in the snow, but it's a newborn girl. They're wondering, who is this girl? What happened to their son? I'm ready to find out. This seems more the type of fantastical world that I could get into. And then these next 3 were in the sale cart, so even better. So the first is After Anna. And now listen, I recently read a book called After Anna and really liked it. Different author, different book. But I was like, sure, I'll take a chance on this. So this is about this family, and in this family, the girl goes missing. She's 5 years old, and then 1 week after she is abducted, she's returned home, and she has no memory of where she's been, and apparently that's just the beginning of the nightmare. So I'm ready. Next, another fantasy, So Unlike Me. It just looked so cool. I had to have it. It's the beginning of a trilogy that I'll probably never finish reading. It's called The Sword by Brian M. Litvin. And basically, this is like a futuristic book, but not. So it's set 400 years from now, and there's been a deadly virus and nuclear warfare has destroyed the modern world. And so the people who have survived return to medieval age, like, behavior, so swords and horses in feudal kingdoms. There's a discovery made about an ancient Bible and discussions about faith, so I think this is a theological sci-fi, which we know I love. It's kind of like fantasy because it's got the medieval air, but in more of a setting that I'm comfortable with. So like discussions about theology and this futuristic vibe. So I'm stoked for this, like so stoked. And then finally, we have Deafening by Francis Itany, which is technically a World War I era love story, but it's about this woman who's deaf. And really, I don't know much more than that. I grabbed it. I've been grabbing every book with a deaf main character since ever. It's also a #1 bestseller in Canada, which is weird. I hate that it's a paperback with these flaps, and I don't like deckled edges. My mom does. She's like, "Ooh, I love those things." And I was like, deckled edges? This book just looked too good for me. It also takes place in Canada. Yes, I'm ready. I'm so ready for this. So those are the 7 books I got. I'm excited for all of them and excited for all the books I've gotten recently. So who even knows what I'm going to read this month, but oh no, I thought I'd show you. You found your spot, Ernie? For my final update on this Friday night before I start my weekend vlog, I just finished reading Something Wilder by Christina Lauren, and I'm giving it 4 stars. It's not my favorite Christina Lauren, but also not my least favorite Christina Lauren. I haven't read enough Christina Laurens to have a least favorite, I think. I think they've all been pretty solid. But anyway, this one was pretty good, except that the fact that I just happened to pick up another second chance romance that involved horses in the same week is... Second chance romance is not my favorite romance trope, and I don't like horses, so I don't know what's happening. Just things that I've randomly picked up. Whatever. And I still don't have a bingo yet at the end of this first vlog, but that's okay because I'm very close on 2 of the rows, so we're getting there. For this, I used the prompts adventure request, less read genre because it's an adult romance, and then different format because I listened to it on audiobook. I also got to take off cozy reading time because I think you saw with my clip with my family dog, I had a very cozy setup this evening. So I'm definitely counting that. So we're looking pretty good at the end of this first vlog. This new Christina Lauren book is about this girl, and she runs this like weird business where there's like treasure hunts and stuff. It's really hard to explain, but it's like a travel thing. Then about this guy who works in like the corporate world or whatever. He works with computers, but anyway, he used to work on this girl's dad's ranch, but then things ended. His friends pick a trip for them to go on, and it turns out that he's going to this girl's travel thing, and so they end up in the desert together, and then suddenly there's a scavenger hunt and like a lot of crazy things. Some really crazy stuff. Like Christina Lauren their books always have like lots of crazy things happening in this, but some of the things in this took the cake, I have to say. I'm not sure I cared very much about the relationship. Like, I knew they'd end up together and I thought they made a good couple, but I just wasn't interested in that plot line as much as like the scavenger hunt, or interested in the dynamic of the friend group that was on the trip. Like Walter, I love Walter. Does Christina Lauren already write a book about Walter? If not, where is it? I need it right now. So I'm going to end this vlog off here. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what's your ideal cozy reading situation, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!